let that one down. And Vucevic is there. Vucevic for the open jumper, good.
Well, a nice high arcing shot by the 7-footer.
This team got him from Philadelphia as part of a 14, 12-player deal in 2012. Paul Pierce, nice fake. Now gets the open look and couldn't hit it. Nene battling for the rebound, but it's taken by Payton. He is hit by Pierce with no call. It comes right to Fournier, who lays it up and in. Evan Fournier in his third year from France, his first year here after the last two in Denver. Magic by 3. Nene from 17, good. His shooting in the postseason last year, especially in the Chicago series, was brilliant.
It really was, and of course in that series going against Joakim Noah, one of the better defenders in the league.
Screen roll, they couldn't handle it. Wall comes down court with Temple, 2-on-1. Great pass, back to him, and Garrett can't finish, but he's fouled on the play.
John was playing, that's a 2-on-1 situation. John wasn't sure if the defense was going to come at him. And it's Fry, and he delivers that pass. And you can see Garrett just doesn't handle it cleanly, a little bit behind. We're a little bit late, but still able to handle it. Boy, Fry looking at the official, wondering how a foul was called on that.
Garrett makes the first in his third year with Washington, signing as a free agent Christmas Day in 2012, and last year played 75 games for the Wizards.
I like the way Randy Whitman describes him. He said he's a guy that I feel very comfortable with. Even if I haven't played him throughout the whole game, I feel comfortable calling on him and putting him in to have a tough defensive assignment.
Wizards back on top by a point and knocked out of bounds by Washington. Last year, the Wizards swept the 4-game series. They won the first 2 in D.C. and the last 2 here. In fact, the win here by Washington last March 14th snapped a 7-game losing streak in Orlando. And then they won here again on April 11th as a foul is called. It's on Elfrid Payton, who went 2 of 8 in their loss to New Orleans the other night. But he did have 5 rebounds and 7 assists in that game.
7 assists was a team high. Yeah, they're expecting some great things from him. I understand that's the area that he's from, so he had a lot of his family and friends, supporters there.
Inside, ill-advised pass by Gortat, stolen by Fry. No, Orlando's happy to get him back. He missed the game in New Orleans with a sprained MCL. Vucevic backing in on Nene, who tries to go for the ball, and that's a great move.
It sure was. Finished with the left hand, but he did a good job of getting low in a seated position and kept Nene from getting to that ball. Nene, a terrific low post defender.
Lead seesaws here. Nene will take the jump shot, rims it out, rebound Vucevic.
It just seems that Vucevic has that attitude that every shot is a missed shot, so I'm going there to expecting to miss.
And he gets most of them. That's what they were missing in New Orleans.
I was going to say, he's the ultimate stretch 4. In fact, since coming into the league 7 years ago, he's really picked up a little weight up top, but always had that super touch from the outside.
Wall back to Temple. Gives it off to Garrett with nowhere to go. Finds Pierce, and now John Wall back to Temple. Good ball movement,
yes, sir.
And Temple knocks it down.
Good decision by John Wall. One more pass, and it was a wide open shot by Temple.
Game tied at 14, and a timeout by Jacques Vaughn. Lead going back and forth. Washington with excellent ball movement. That one extra pass to find the open man and make sure he has a good look at the basket. That's what Wall did. The Wizards have hit 5 of 10 in the field goal department.
You always hear Randy Whitman talk about good ball movement. Well, here's a great execution of what he's talking about. The ball on one side, you get in the middle, defense collapse. Now they kick it out, swing. One more pass. Garrett Temple moves to that three-point shot, knocks down his second three. Good ball movement leads to the open shot.
4 assists for the Wiz, all 4 by Wall, as we take a look at our Morgan Franklin Consulting voice on value.
Well, we're talking about road play, how important it is. The value last year was certainly seen and experienced even into the playoffs, so Washington wants to make sure they get themselves a split after dropping last night's road game.
Orlando has connected on 6 of their first 8 field goal attempts. That's 75% shooting. Washington's 5 of 10 so far. Payton with a nifty move, but he's called for an extra step.
Well, that's where that discipline comes in for John. He's going to have to make sure he forces the offensive player. See, he's trying to overplay that pick and opens up a lane that the team wasn't expecting.
Against New Orleans, the Magic committed 18 turnovers that led to 27 Pelican points. Gortat couldn't get it. Vucevic tipped it to Payton. Great pass, and they lay it in. I know what you heard what Anthony Davis did in that game against this team with 26 points, 17 rebounds, and 9 block shots.
I think he had 4 or 5 steals as well. I mean, he really filled up the stat line. Vucevic showing you he's a big man that can fill the lane. Look at him run down the middle there and able to get behind the Wizards line of defense and get the easy 2.
Perfect pass by Payton. The Magic go up by 2. Otto Porter in the game for Washington, along with Drew Gooden. Both played well last night. Down low, Temple lays it up, couldn't quite get there, but Gortat tips it in. Marcin Gortat, who began his career here in Orlando before going to Phoenix.
That's right. Of course, playing behind Dwight Howard at that time. Nice steal by John.
Gives it up to Porter. Beautiful pass, selfless basketball.
John Wall setting up. Remember, he had 9 assists in that first half last night in Miami, giving the ball to Porter. It was right here that Porter had one of his best games last year. He had 9 points and 9 rebounds all in the second half. And he was a big part of that win. The Wizards had to come from behind and win the game in overtime. And Porter was a big part of that play.
Look at our DC Lottery second chance points. Here is the Polish machine who knocks it off the glass.
Vucevic didn't do a good job of pushing him out.
Wall tips it to himself, keeps it alive, gets a screen, and knocks it in. Beautifully done by Porter, shielding the defense down court.
Yeah, it's a team game, Buck, so you got to help each other, even if you don't have the ball and you're the primary source.
Washington with its largest lead of 4. Vucevic turns and connects. Boy, the way he rebounds, if he becomes consistent with that kind of play, and he's a big man, he'll be unstoppable.
Yeah, well, I think we were pretty impressed with his shooting touch last year when we saw him play down here.
Wall kicks it out. Temple drives the paint, throws up a quick shot that glanced off the rim. Good play, bad pass. Wizards get the steal.
Heads-up play by Otto Porter, and then got the ball right back to John.
Wall shot clanks off the glass, chased down by Tobias Harris.
That was Garrett with the strip that time. So Washington doing a good job in transition, getting back, and their defense is paying off for them.
So far, 8 turnovers by the Magic. And the Wizards have cashed in with 8 points. Garrett Temple in double figures with 10.
How about that? That's 2 threes.
.240 to play in quarter number 1. Washington by 4. Wall off balance. Good shot. He saw the defender look away.
Turned his head. Yep. Payton turned his head just for that split second, and that's when John crossed him up.
John Wall has 6 assists in the first quarter alone, and he will go to the free throw line for 2 when we come back with the Wizards up by 4. Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller Time later in tonight's game. It's brought to you by Miller Lights. Washington's backcourt has been productive. John Wall has 6 assists, and Garrett Temple is in double figures with 10 points. And for more on him, let's send you over to Chris.
Well, Buck, yesterday Randy Whitman gave Garrett Temple the ultimate compliment. He said he's a guy that he can count on regardless if he starts or comes in and plays the last 10 seconds of the game. He knows exactly what he's going to get with him, a consistent basketball player who is a pro at this league. And a lot of that credit obviously goes to his father, Collis Temple, who's in the building tonight. He was down there in Miami last night. I had a chance to talk to him in the team hotel today, and he talked about Garrett. And I said, when did you know that he had the potential of one day being a pro? He said, well, I knew he would be special at the age of 11 when he was in an AAU tournament and he didn't score a lot of points. And they had a conversation. His dad wanted him to be a little more aggressive. And Garrett looked at him and said, okay, Dad, can I ask you a question? He said, yeah. He goes, how many assists and how many steals do I have? Dad looked at him and said, I'm not sure. He says, I had 14 assists and 6 steals in the first half. Dad shook his shoulders and said, yep, you're right. Go back out there and have fun, son.
Sometimes it's the young teaching the old, you know.
His dad is a terrific guy, and Garrett is just a wonderful young man. And we've really enjoyed having him around for the last 3 years. Good defense. Ben Gordon trying to get the shot off. He does, and he hits it.
Well, very close to hooking, and that's what Garrett is saying. That left arm wrapped around the body of Garrett, but Ben Gordon not called for it.
Referees tonight, Bill Spooner, Pat Frere, and Scott Twardowski. Here's the machine from 14 good. Marcin Gortat connects. Had a huge contingent of Polish fans in attendance last night in Miami following the game. We talked to March after the game about that, and he said it's going to be that way everywhere we go, which is fine. He loves it.
Yeah.
He loves to see his countrymen. Yeah. He's a great ambassador. Spends a lot of time with the folks after the game and just enjoys meeting people and seeing folks and speaking Polish.
And like you said, we see this in a variety of cities. So last night, not a unique situation.
Luke Ridenour is in the game for the Magic. Aaron Gordon.
Glenn Rice is in the game.
Glenn did not play last night as Tobias Harris misses. Glenn was available to play, did not play. Of course, he had been nursing the sprained ankle, which he suffered in the preseason game against Detroit. Here's Chris Humphries for Washington. Strong move. Throws it up and missed badly, and a loose ball foul will be called on Otto Porter.
The foul, number 22, Otto Porter.
So we're in the penalty situation, and 2 shots are coming for this Magic team who held the Pelicans to just under 41% shooting in their game in New Orleans, but they gave up 26 offensive rebounds, and that led to an amazing 32 second chance points for New Orleans. Hey fans, the home opener Saturday night, November 1st at 7 o'clock. Be there as the Wiz take on the Bucks. To purchase your tickets, call 800-745-3000 or visit WashingtonWizards.com.
Total of 118 rebounds in that game that you just mentioned.
Wow.
56 and 62.
Vucevic had 23 of them. Porter is bumped on the baseline and a foul is called.
Boy, you know, just like in watching youth basketball, even here, it's fun to see young players develop and see where you can recognize that development. We keep talking about Otto Porter. He was caught in a very uncomfortable position there that last time when he received the ball. Didn't panic, used his dribble to get out of that position, and eventually drew the foul.
Washington by 6 as Porter gets one more. Last year shot 67%, but as you know, he only took 12 free throws last year because he only played in 37 games. Gets them both. Ridenour's jumper is good. Luke Ridenour, this is his 12th year from Oregon, his first year here. after last season in Milwaukee and then Charlotte. Magic signing him as a free agent in July. Andre Miller in for Washington. Gooden with 5. Takes the shot and a little short. Humphries knocks it out of bounds. It'll be Magic ball.
Well, what a terrific game that Drew had yesterday. I mean, just it was funny. He mentioned that he hadn't started in a couple of years, but whatever Randy wants, he's prepared to do.
At 18 points, 5 rebounds. Gets 1 there. Elias Harris was the leading scorer in their loss to New Orleans the other night. He had 25 points.
I think he scored yet today.
Miller. Glenn Rice with 2 seconds. Fires a long shot just off the back of the iron, but he pulls it down. Shot up off the glass, no good, as Dwayne Dedman, I think, got a piece of that on the Drew Gooden attempt. So the Wizards forcing 8 Magic turnovers in that first quarter. And John Wall with 6 assists. Garrett Temple, whose career high is 17 points, is just 7 away as he had 10 in quarter number 1. After 1 in Orlando, it's Washington 28 and the Magic 23.
Wizards basketball continues here on Comcast Sportsnet. We're here at the Amway Center in Orlando, Florida, where the Wizards lead the Magic 28-23, set to start the second quarter. Hi, everybody. Chris Miller alongside our Wizards insider at CSN Washington. A must-read, I also would admit, Jay Michael. Jay Michael, we're in the Twitterverse tonight. We're asking a simple question. Was last night just an aberration, or are there some concerns that you see on the defensive end for this basketball team?
I think it's an aberration. You got 4 new players on this team. You had a lot of guys missing. If you go back to last season when they started 2-7, the Wizards gave up 100 points or more in the first 7 games. They were giving up an average of 105 points a game when they started off 2-7, and they ended up being a top 10 defense in the NBA. There's a lot of time to work out the kinks. I think they'll be okay.
You see some of the comments strolling at the bottom of the screen. Buck, one thing was interesting during training camp. I asked Randy Whitman about the fact of being a top 10 defensive team. He goes, he wants them to be a top 5 team this year. So that's the importance of how this coaching staff sees that side of the ball.
Yeah, well, that would be the natural progression, right, Phil? If you finish 9 or 10, you want to move up each year.
You always have to challenge yourself, and if you don't, leave it to a coach to challenge you for you.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason why they can't. They've got the tools to do it, and
I'll tell you something else. I was impressed even in training camp watching how well this team was communicating. Keep in mind, that's so important. You have to be on the same page because you have a lot of these pick and rolls and different situations like that. You have to be able to cover for each other.
that was beautifully done. And Gordon working with Nick Vucevic. 10 points for Vucevic with 5 rebounds. Gooden with a terrific fake drives and lays it in. Athletic move for the elder statesman.
Good call. Vucevic setting a moving pick.
Take a look at our statistics from that first quarter, brought to you by your Washington area Chevy dealers. Wizards shot 43.5%, Orlando 62.5%.
Yeah, but 8 turnovers, and that last one makes it 9.
Mentioned they had 18 in their loss at New Orleans the other night. Here's Glenn Rice Jr. Boy, he had a terrific summer. Offensive foul called on Washington. It's on Rice, who shoved his defender out of the way to get open.
Offensive foul number 14, Glenn Rice, his first, no team foul.
Well, let's see what happens there. A little body contact, but then the arm gets in there and his hand gets caught in the jersey of Ben Gordon.
That's being kind.
What?
He grabbed his jersey. Gordon backs up, has to give it up. Now back to Ben in the paint, lays it up and in, and that's exactly what Randy Whitman said there was too much of last night.
Yeah, they only had 2 blocked shots, and remember Washington, one of the better teams last year in shot blocking, thanks in large part to Marcin Gortat.
Nene inside gets an easy 2. Nene starting the quarter with Glenn Rice and Drew Gooden, Otto Porter, and Andre Miller. Steve Buckhantz, Phil Chenier, Chris Miller, Jay Michael in Orlando. Good play by Porter to knock it away, get the steal from Gordon. Wizards by 5. They've led by as many as 7. Nene in traffic. He got hammered by Vucevic, and he'll go to the line. Last year, Washington allowed an average of 99.4 points per game. And in points allowed, you can see that ranked them 9th.
Well, 4th in both turnovers forced and offensive rebounds allowed, not giving their opponents a lot of rebounding second chances. 3-point positions, percentage, I should say, block shots, all of those in the top 10. So that says a lot about their overall defense. And since Randy has been here, this team has progressively gotten better and better. And I think now that you have a unit, the core unit that's together, and the 3 or 4 guys that you bring are used to being on good defensive teams.
First miss of the game from the free throw line for Washington, who's 7 of 8. Nene gets the rebound.
Got to close out on Channing Frye. He's a terrific 3-point shooter.
Miller around the screen. Gives it up, but the pass was errant. Ridenour, they run 2-on-1. Gordon up high, and the flush by Aaron Gordon off a terrific pass, despite a good defensive play.
I was going to say the same thing. Rice did all he could in a 2-on-1 situation. It's just that he probably didn't have as much lift, still feeling a little bit twinged from that ankle sprain, but also giving up about 3 or 4 inches.
Gordon was the first man off the bench in their game against New Orleans, had 11 points on 5 of 8 shooting. Rice is fouled by Ben Gordon, and he will go to the line for 3 shots when we come back to Orlando. So Glenn Rice Jr. will test his skills at the free throw line after a spectacular play by the Magic to cut the Washington lead to 4. Wizards lead the Magic by 4 with 8:44 to play here in the second quarter from Orlando. Take a look at our Greenberg and Betterman injury report, mentioning Webster still rehabbing and hoping to come back within the next month or so after back surgery June 27th. Bradley Beal fractured his wrist on October 10th, so this is almost 3 weeks since that happened. Hopefully another 3 weeks or so he'll be able to get back into it. Victor Oladipo, the former DeMatha star, didn't play the entire preseason after spraining his right knee on October 22nd and then suffering a facial fracture on October 24th.
Yeah, what a terrific rookie year he had last year. As I mentioned, finished second in the voting, Michael Carter Williams in Philadelphia, but outstanding year, a couple of triple doubles, some outstanding games. Hopefully he can get back and get healthy quick.
Glenn Rice Jr. has one more to go. Sprained his ankle in the preseason against Detroit, and this is his first action since then. Didn't play last night. And makes 2 of 3. Standout in the Summer League. Averaged 25 points and 7 rebounds and named MVP of the entire Vegas Summer League.
Unanimously.
Here's Ben Gordon, nearly traveled. Good defense. 2 to shoot. Gordon launches and rims it out. Marcin Gortat will check back in for Washington. Nene on a fadeaway, too strong. Aaron Gordon, and that will count. Only in the NBA will that play count. Continuation, and a foul called on Otto Porter.
His second first team foul. Back for Washington, number 4.
Good job of protecting the basketball, and you see the contact made by Porter. It looked like he pretty much committed himself to try and go on the front side and try and get a piece of that ball.
Aaron Gordon, the rookie from Arizona, who was the 4th overall pick this past summer after just 1 year in college, missing the free throw. Wall back in for Washington with Rice, Nene, Paul Pierce in the game, and Gortat. Marcin backing in on Vucevic. Tough fadeaway, that's well short. Aaron Gordon the rebound. Tried to get the cutter, Fournier, and Fry threw it out of bounds. So that's the 11th turnover.
Much like 2 nights ago, turnovers really plaguing this Orlando team. Very young team. It's interesting. Their starting backcourt has a total of 2 years of experience. But they have guys like Luke Rittenauer and Willie Green, who's in the game now with over 10 years of experience. Wow.
Wall has it stripped away by Fournier to Willie Green. Rittenauer on the baseline in the corner, and now finds Vucevic.
Boy, that's a nice move. I mean, to turn around the other direction, turn your head from the basket, and then softly drop in the left-hand hook shot.
Traveling called on Washington. That'll be the 7th turnover for the Wizards.
Well, take a look at this move here by Nikolai Vucevic. He goes right, then turns his back to the basket, spins around, finishes it off nicely with the left.
Was the 16th overall pick in 2011 by the Sixers after 3 years at USC. Fournier, the open jumper, missed it. Nene. And a hold, I believe, will be called on Willie Green. Hey fans, stay up to date on your favorite team and download the new CSN Washington app right now. It features breaking news, instant analysis, scores, and now video. Get everything Caps, Redskins, Wizards, DC United, and more right now on the new CSN Washington app. Big Brazilian bumped by Fry, no call, kicks it out. Wall with 2 seconds. Nene's jumper, good.
Good concentration. He had a guy coming from his blind spot, but man, he did a good job of just focusing on the rim.
And they knew where that shot clock was, and John using every second of it. Ridenour on the give and go. Back to him for a 3 ball. It's no good. Nene pulls the trigger again. That's strong off the back of the iron. Vucevic there for his 6th rebound. Ridenour open and scores. He's 33 years old, Luke Ridenour, in his 12th year in the NBA. Pierce pulls up, got a little short, scoreless in this game. 0 for 2 from the field. Great pass underneath, but that is blocked, and they'll call it goaltending.
I think the ball got to the rim before Rice could make contact and get the block. He hit it to the other side, but once it touches the glass, you can't touch it.
Well, that goaltend ties the score at 37 after Washington led by 7. Nene tries again. This one is good. Turns around to look at Scott Twardowski and says he got contact on me. Ridenour and a timeout, Orlando. Washington 4 of 9 shooting here in the second quarter. The Magic 7 of 12, and that's why they're hanging around. Wizards lead by 2. Comcast Sportsnet coverage of Wizards basketball being brought to you tonight by Toyota. Check out the bold new 2015 Camry and visit buyatoyota.com for offers. Morgan Franklin Consulting, big capabilities, local roots, morganfranklin.com. And by Jeep, visit jeep.com to learn more. 39-37, Washington. See Bill Spooner, the veteran, talking to Nene. Here's the last play that Nene was upset about, Phil. Watch what Channing Frye does to the top of his head. And then Nene tries to headbutt him, which got him into trouble last year in Chicago when he did that to Jimmy Butler and wound up suspended for the next game.
Yeah. I mean, my original thought was just trying to get his hand off the head, but now that I look at it a second time.
Vucevic with Gortat takes the long shot, and a loose ball foul on Washington. It'll be on Paul Pierce.
Foul number 34, Paul Pierce.
Tobias Harris, who still has yet to score, actually has 1 point from the line, but 0 for 4 from the field. He trying to assert himself on the board, had good inside position on Paul.
Not shooting, Magic basketball. Tobias Harris was 9 of 18 from the field against New Orleans, and he draws contact with a foul on Wall, and Harris will get 2. A great player at the University of Tennessee. There's a couple of them in the building tonight. You know who the other one is?
No, I don't. Who?
Think Wizards organization. Think team president.
Oh, Ernie Grunfeld. You got to go back a ways for that. There's a big time difference there.
He is here, though. He's here.
Okay.
Harris in his 4th year from UT, only played 1 year there, started 33 of 34 games and averaged 15 points and 7 rebounds, made the SEC all-freshman team.
And you could see from that last move, he's a player that's capable of creating his own shot. Nice crossover move and a strong move towards the rim.
Pierce, this is a tough shot, and he hit it.
I think Paul feels like he can take Fournier. A couple times he's been on him, and he's called for the ball over on the weak side and had his isolation.
First field goal for the 17-year vet. Willie Green. Great move. Gortat had a hand on him and blocks the shot.
See, that's where you have to realize, I mean, that's a mismatch on a drive, so you've got to give some collapse help.
They called it on Rice, Phil.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I thought the push from behind on Gortat, maybe that was after the contact with Rice.
Yeah, Glenn looked like he reached in there and slapped at it, and that's what the official saw. So Green gets the first, another veteran in his 12th year from Detroit Mercy, his first year here in Orlando. Garrett Temple back in, replaces Glenn Rice. Rice in 10 minutes went 0 for 1. It was a 3-point attempt, 2 of 3 free throws, and had a rebound. Willie Green was claimed off waivers in June after playing with the Clippers last year.
Again, there's that matchup we just mentioned. Fournier trying to guard Paul Pierce. Paul posting him up. We heard Randy Whitman talk about the benefits of having a player like Paul Pierce that has the capability of posting up, knocking down the threes. He can create off the dribble as well. And they like that matchup there, so they were going at Fournier. And now you have a bigger Aaron Gordon who comes in, and he looks like he's going to take the assignment on Pierce.
In for Willie Green. Elfrid Payton back in for Orlando as well, the rookie. 3 ball up, no good. Game tied at 41. Harris across the lane for Fournier. Gordon for a long 3, in and out. Knocked out of bounds, Washington ball. Good hustle by Fournier. Wizards could not get to it. That's one of those sort of 50-50 things where you got to get after it.
Yeah,
and find
it was a long shot that came off the rim there, but you had Garrett Temple that was boxing out but didn't see the ball.
Series of screens set for Pierce. Nice move around Gordon for the jumper. No good. This time it's Dwayne Dedmon, the rebound. .250 to play in the half. Harris in the corner, good. 3-point shot gives Orlando the lead, their first lead since they were up 16-14. Gortat, 8 to shoot. Trying to make a move on Dedmon. Fires for Wall. He launches a 3, and that ties the game. And a whistle as the ball went in.
You know, Nene's getting a little frustrated underneath there. He and I believe it was Tobias Harris got tangled up.
So the basket will count, but a loose ball foul has been called on Nene. And a timeout has been called on the court. So John Wall, 2 of 5 from the field, make it 2 of 6, 7 points and 7 assists. We're tied at 44. On the eve of Halloween, the Wizards and Magic are tied at 44 as we take a look at our Toyota League leaders. And when you're talking players from last year with 15 or more points and 10 or more assists in a game, you're talking Chris Paul, Steph Curry, and John Wall. Wall has 21, including last night when he had 16 and 11 against Miami. So he had 20 last year. Chris Paul is at 30. Steph Curry with 24. Ty Lawson had 18 of them.
Yeah, John Wall with 7 and 7 so far in this first half. 7 assists to go along with the 7 points.
So after the loose ball foul by Nene, the penalty situation sends Harris to the line for 2, and he misses the first. After winning just 20 games 2 seasons ago, Orlando could manage just 23 last year. They went 23 and 59. 3 years ago, they managed to slip into the playoffs with a record of 37 and 29. That was the lockout shortened season, losing to the Pacers in the first round, 4-1. Wall fires, and it's tipped. Luckily for Washington, they'll remain with possession.
Well, that pass intended for Marcin Gortat, who looked like he was in position to get it, but maybe the tip just threw him off and he decided not to reach for it.
Alley-oop for Gortat, and he missed it, and there was some contesting at the rim. I don't know if he got a piece of it or not.
2 minutes, less than 2 minutes remaining in the half.
Fournier launches a 3 and hits. Last year he made a career high 89 of them. Here's Pierce, who's left alone. He shoots one up and scores a 3. Magic by 1, Fournier. And a timeout, it appears, 22nd variety, taken by Jacques Vaughn. Gives us a moment to take a look at our McDonald's trivia tonight. Name the only 2 foreign-born players to win back-to-back rebounding titles. Now there are 101 international players in the league this year, and back-to-back rebounding titles.
I mean, not many players won back-to-back rebounding titles. So.
Dikembe Mutombo.
That's a good one.
That's a guess. Somewhat educated, not completely. This Orlando team won just 4 games on the road last year. Charlotte, Atlanta, Chicago, and Philly.
Yeah. You know, Buck, though, they had a stretch of games where they beat some pretty impressive teams. Remember, they beat Oklahoma City and the Pacers back-to-back.
Here's a long 3 off the glass. Gooden in the game gets the rebound, and he's contested, and Fournier steals it away from him and then lays it in. Tell you what, that guy's been hustling all over the court
you
in
got
this
to give
half.
him credit from that because
he's bothering guys.
Gooden clearly had both hands on the ball, but he was able to force him to cough it up.
14 points for Evan Fournier. Here's a screen roll for Gortat. This team also had a stretch where they dropped 16 straight on the road, which equaled their franchise record. In fact, they lost game number 16 straight to the Wizards at the Verizon Center. Then they ended their streak the very next night, winning at Philadelphia.
Foul number 34, Paul Pierce.
Pierce called for the foul. Otto Porter will check in. So Elfrid Payton to the free throw line. 3 years at Louisiana Lafayette, averaged 14 and 5 rebounds and 5 assists. Was not a good free throw shooter, 61%. Drops that one in nicely. And Otto Porter coming back in. Payton was the school's all-time leader in steals. He led them to a 23-12 record, and they made the NCAA tournament, winning the Sun Belt Conference title. Magic by 2. Temple, long 3, no good. Rebound tipped up and in by Gortat. Ties the game at 51. 10 points, 6 rebounds for Marcin Gortat. 3-second difference between the game and shot clocks. Here's Wall, checks the clock. He's got time. Now pulls the trigger on a long shot that's good for 3.
And that was well contested by Fournier, too. John just rose above him and dropped down that 3 just as the shot clock will expire, game clock.
Giving his team some momentum heading into the break. The second 3 of the quarter for John Wall, who is 1 assist away from a double-double. 10 points and 9 assists for John Wall, as Washington has made 5 of 8 from long range, and we send you to Chris.
Guys, thank you, Garrett. You came out extremely aggressive on the offensive end. You told me last night, listen, we've got to be that way, but I'm sure defense is where you guys want to clean up.
Yeah, we definitely want to clean it up. 51 points is way too much for this team. You know, we have some concepts. Again, we know Channing Frye's a shooter that changes things up, but we got to clean up the offensive boards, and we got to clean up dribble penetration. And,
get the big fella Nene out there. How important was it to get him back out there?
It was definitely important. He came out very aggressive offensively, which we needed him to do, and he's capable of making a lot of plays, scoring the ball and passing the ball.
Appreciate your time, Garrett. Thank you.
All right, the Wizards have 4 of their 5 starters in double figures. Gortat, Temple, and Wall with 10. And they lead at the break 54-51 as we head back to the Comcast Sportsnet studios for Halftime Live, presented by Nissan, with Brian Mitchell and Chick Hernandez.
This copyrighted broadcast of the National Basketball Association may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the express written consent of the NBA.
Comcast Sportsnet coverage of Wizards basketball brought to you tonight by your Washington area Chevy dealers. Find your local dealer on ChevyFirst.com. Papa John's, the new Fritos Chili Pizza, has arrived and is only here for a limited time. Up your game at papajohns.com. And by Mercedes-Benz of Arlington and Mercedes-Benz of Alexandria. John Wall hit a three right at the end of the first half to give the Wizards a three-point advantage as we get set to start the third. Meantime, we take a look at our Navy Federal Credit Union news and notes as LeBron James has returned to Cleveland. His Cavaliers lead the Knicks right now with 3:52 to play in the first, 19-12. James averaged 33 points in 4 games last year against New York. Kevin Garnett, fourth player all-time to play 20 or more seasons. And Kemba Walker agreeing to a 4-year, $48 million contract extension. I guess he deserves it. He helped them win their game in comeback fashion over Milwaukee last night.
Hit the game winner.
Let's check in with Chris Miller.
Buck and Phil, thank you. Just talked to assistant coach Pat Sullivan. He said offensively we were really aggressive to start the game. You like the fact that they shared the basketball. But giving up 51 points in the first half was way too much. The real key in the second half, he says, is we have to cut down their field goal percentage. That is priority number one, guys. Back to you.
They shot 57%, Chris, and you mentioned Pat Sullivan. The Wizards have 3 new coaches this year: Roy Rogers, Howard Isley, and a local guy, David Atkins, who's coached at a lot of schools, including where I went to high school in Arlington, Washington Lee. He coached with Stu Vetter at Montrose Christian, helping to coach Kevin
He
Durant.
didn't coach when you were in school, though.
No, a little later. Been out a few years. Of course, they joined Randy and Don Newman and Don Zierden. Wizards losing Sam Cassell to the Clippers and Ryan Saunders to Minnesota. Vucevic short, Washington the rebound. As we start the third, Paul Pierce, John Wall, Nene, Garrett Temple, Marcin Gortat. 4 of 5 players in double figures. Pierce the only one who wasn't. He had 5 points in that half. Wall drives, kicks it out to Nene. That's a great looking play to set up the big man, but he can't score. But a loose ball foul is called on Orlando. Someone was holding Gortat.
Yeah, he was reaching with the left hand, being held with the right.
Called it on Vucevic. That's his third.
Hey, that was a good looking play, John, getting in the paint, forcing the defense to collapse, a wide open shot. Nene normally hits those. Those are his favorite. You can see the hold there by Vucevic.
Well, they've changed the call, Phil. They called it on Evan Fournier. I admit I would have to see the replay again to see who it was that was holding Gortat. But they've changed the call to Fournier. And Randy Whitman is not happy about that. He comes over to Bill Spooner. Well, I'd love to see that replay again just to confirm who it was that was holding Gortat. Wall misses, and the reason is because if the foul is on Vucevic, that's 3, and that's a big deal in this game.
Pressure on him, that's right.
Let's take another look at it and see. Thanks to our producer, Rich Wolf.
Let's see but you see the right side is being held, and that's what we saw, but also being pushed by Fournier on the other side. So they could have called it on either player.
Good point. Wow.
Whoa.
And Marcin gets a very familiar bounce here in Orlando.
What month is this? Not December yet, but
Not
he
yet.
got a gift.
Gonna check his birthday schedule. And a technical foul has been called on Jacques Vaughn. And he wanted a palming on Gortat. That's what he's
Either
complaining about.
Double dribble, carrying the ball, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
It looked illegal to me.
And Bill Spooner reached up and said the ball went up in the air, and he brought it down, and he never carried it, he never possessed it, and never changed the direction of the ball.
Yeah.
That's the explanation Spooner gave to Vaughn.
Based on those standards there, then you'd be right. But I always thought if you touch the ball above your head and didn't catch it, then that's got to be. No?
I don't know. I am curious, though. I'd never heard what you just said. If you touched it above your head, that's interesting. And they didn't call it. Vucevic spinning, gets some help. cuts underneath and lays it off the glass and in. Boy, that guy
He
is
has
talented.
an excellent finish with the left hand. We've seen several shots like that from him tonight.
And it seems like he knows where he is at all times.
That's right. Each time turning his back to the basket just for a split second.
Pierce with a nice fake. His jumper's good. We've been watching him do that for 17 years.
Yes, we have. It's good to see him doing it for this organization.
Absolutely. Harris drives, runs over Gortat, and that is an offensive foul. He knew he was coming in that lane and set up perfectly.
Yeah, and the team collapsed very well. You had John in there as well as think it was Gortat, but you had a number of players that collapsed, and that's what. And there's Gortat, and John actually was on the outside there applying pressure.
Well,
not a lot
outside.
of room to get through. Yeah, outside the restricted area. You're right.
Yeah. Wall for the open arcing
Good
jumper.
looking shot.
Nothing but net. He had perfect follow through,
He
didn't he?
did. Straight up, on balance. Good release.
Washington with its largest lead of 8. That's a nice play, but Gortat on the miss keeps it alive for Temple, who's fouled by Fournier.
Foul number
We're
10.
seeing Washington's defense pick up the pace a little bit. Good pressure applied out, and even if you don't come up with the steal, you've really disrupted the rhythm and the flow of a team's offense when you get that kind of pressure. Guys are a little bit out of position.
Wiz have begun the third quarter outscoring the Magic 7-2. Off the screen, Temple. Nowhere for him to go. Pierce. Wall with 5. Crossover by John, step back by John, and just a little off the rim, and this time they'll call a foul on Gortat, who says Channing Frye was hanging on to me.
Archie Gortat. His first team foul.
Well, he's trying to hit that left arm is being held and locked in there with that left shoulder of Channing Frye.
That's the first on Gortat, and the Wizards get it right back. Washington will be home on Saturday, their home opener against the Milwaukee Bucks. You'll see it right here on CSN. Nene, good pass for Gortat.
Sir. Well, instinctive play by Nene because he had a weak side defender come over and pick him up on the blind side, but he knew his teammate Gortat was going to be in position. Boy, that's worth taking another look at. That's beautiful.
A 9-2 run to open the third quarter by Washington. Nene, the beautiful look to Marcin Gortat. The Wizards lead by 9, 10.
8:52 remaining here in the third quarter. Wizards with a 10-point lead. We have a very special guest joining us now, the father of Garrett Temple. Collis Temple joins us, and earlier in the game, I told the story about you and Garrett having a conversation during the AAU tournament where you wanted him to be a little more aggressive offensively. I'll let you finish the story.
Well, I told him, I said, Garrett, you need to shoot more. And we were in the dressing room after the game, and he looked at me, and he kind of glared at me. And I said, you're not scoring enough because these college guys need to see you score the ball. And he asked me a question. He said, how many dimes did I make, Daddy? And how many assists did I have? Special deal for him, a real special situation.
How proud are you to watch him reach the ultimate dream of being an NBA player and seeing him have the success that he's having?
Well, I'm really excited about his success. And, of course, I'm more excited about the kind of character this entire team has. It just makes me feel good that he's around so many great people. The administration of this team and the players that they've assembled is really a special time for him.
And Randy Whitman has spoken so highly about Garrett and said he's a guy that he can trust. Doesn't matter if he plays him 2 minutes or starts like he's done the last 2 games.
Sure.
It's weird.
And we try to stress is, in order for you to be involved.
I'll figure it out, 1 second. It's weird. I'll figure it out, 1 second. Do you see stuff? It's weird. Is it good? Do you see stuff? It's weird. Is it good? Do you see stuff? Alright, 1 second. Is it good? Do you see stuff? Okay, 1 second. So, I guess I'll play video games. That's about it, right? That's all you can do in Twitch. Good? Okay, 1 second. So, I guess I'll play video games. That's about it, right? That's all you can do in Twitch. Oh wait, I gotta capture this. No. Fuck. Okay. 1 second. So, I guess I'll play video. Alright, I mute my stream. Kinda like hear my voice though. Let me just make another scene. Okay. I gotta load up chat on my iPod because I'm a professional streamer now. Let's get some music. It's gonna be real. Oh, found it. No, wait. No. Did I? Yeah, it's happening. It's actually happening, Adam. 1 hour of candles. And now I gotta try to load up chat. So I can't load up chat for some reason. Oh, wait. There it is. I don't also have... I need a title, too. Yeah, this is good. Dude, streaming is so fucking easy. Kinda need 2 monitors though. Thanks. It's loud? Really? I'll try to turn it down. I'm not sure how to turn it down. It's not that loud on my end. But I'll turn it down for you guys. Is that better? I hope it's not copyrighted. It's from the Honest Guys, so I'm pretty sure they're honest about what they're doing. Okay. Yeah, the sound, the song. I don't think you kind of copyright candles. Alright, so can you see the game? I'll wait. I'm just waiting till you can see my TF2. 2,000 hours. Nope. No, you can't. I gotta switch screens. There it is. You see it. How do I mod? Here, I'll try to mod. There we go. Alright. TF2, let's go. 70 ping. Dude, it's the best game. It's the only good game. Also, can I, no, I think I made you mod. Oh, it says it did. Try to refresh. That's my, my config. I'm gonna go black screen for a second, I think. Or the screen's gonna freeze, I'm not sure. Because I'm not in the game. Hey Adam, I also have a question for you. Can you also stream and try to stream out your outline for math? Oh, I got a map. Turbine. Okay. That's why FPS.
The enemy has secured our intelligence.
Was it? Yeah, careful. That's not that bad. 9 ping there.
Hey, we need some engineers in our
It's
room.
because I'm actually a streamer now. Yeah, I'm getting money for this, basically. It's the only reason why I'm streaming. Oh, that game's what a laggy gamer.
Okay.
Not math, English.
Where did you go?
We'll try to stop the sniper as best I can, okay? I don't know how long I can hold up.
This one's mine.
The enemy has dropped our intelligence.
Look out, soldier in the man preventing the base. Heavy coming in!
Wait for the shot.
You're so gay.
Is it really that bad? I'll try to turn on the bitrate after this. I kind of like it too.
Oh, this kid is gay.
Alright.
Who? Me?
No, the scout.
I'm gonna try to turn on my bitrate. Settings. Is it here? I'll try 250. Yeah, I'm dropping a lot of frames. I'll mod you if you want. There we go. Just refresh the screen. Yeah, you're my mod. Oh wait. How do I untime? How do I untime users? How do I... No, I gave Adam timeout. How do I untime him? Sorry. Oops. Alright. Alright. This is kinda ghetto.
What do you do?
Is at least is the video a little better? Can someone just try to see? Or yeah, black screen.
Right,
Dead ringer.